I usually have an intro, but you know what? I'm just going to play this. I want y'all to take a good listen. All right. I want y'all to take a good listen, especially you mixed black. I want y'all to take a listen.
You have been tweeting this stuff, you've been reporting this stuff, and it grates on you every time you hear this man say what he says about HBCUs.
Yep. It just, I mean, being an educator, you really want to focus on the truth and people understanding. And because Trump, and I think Greg Carr talked about it last week, his superpower, we got to give him credit. He just lies and there's no retribution and he just says it over and over again. So people feel like that's the right thing. They have no idea. I don't even think he understands how the federal budget works because of the way he talks about how I did X, Y, and Z. And so it's really, an opportunity for us to explain how federal funding for HBCUs works and who has really done the work to provide funding for HBCUs.
So Donald Trump, basically what they're talking about is Donald Trump took money away from Harvard and all that stuff because they're preaching communism and socialism and stuff like that. And he put that money into historical black communities or black universities, historical black universities, right? That man keeps giving and giving and giving to black people. He's chasing these illegal immigrants out that are sucking up resources that could go into the black community. He's putting money into the black schools, and it still ain't enough, man. That's why I keep telling y'all about this reparation and any black cause like that. It's never enough. It's never enough. Bro. Okay? I mean, they are all over Trump's ass about it, too. Calling the man a liar, all that shit. I mean, it's sad. How much did Trump give the HBUs? Hold on, let's play this.
This is the Jordan Report, and I'm your host, Robert Jordan. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, we're going to do a story on Trump. Trump just visited the black colleges, the leaders of the black colleges, historically black colleges. And this was last night. He made a great speech. I liked it. I'm a Trump person. I actually voted for Trump, and for the reasons that I'm about to show you. And I was a Trump supporter long before people were calling him all these vicious names. I was his supporter when he was a joke. Everybody thought it was a joke. But anyway, the article goes, Trump delivers campaign pitch to leaders of historically black colleges. I want to show you what Trump is doing, because the news media doesn't actually report this, because for obvious reasons, they don't want black people to know how involved Trump is in our communities and what he's actually doing. So it's hidden. You have to really look for it to see this stuff. I'm going to show you this article. I'm going to show you a piece of the speech. The speech it's like a 30-minute speech. So I'm only going to show you about 4 minutes of it, of how much money he gave the historically black colleges. And then I'm going to show you a little small article on what Don Lemon says about black voters and why they shouldn't vote for Trump. It's going to be a short video. President Donald Trump told leaders of historically black colleges and universities Tuesday of his fierce dedication to strengthening HBCUs. He insisted his administration's commitment is bigger and better and stronger than any previous administration by far. This nation owes a profound debt of gratitude to its HBCUs, he said in a speech to more than 40 representatives from HBCUs across the country gathered in Washington for the White House Initiative on Historically Black Colleges and Universities. Okay, this is the White House doing this. His remarks were greeted warmly by an audience that nevertheless took pains afterwards to separate themselves from the other portion of the president's remarks to them. Trump's campaign-like pitch touting himself to African Americans. Pointing to what he said were record low unemployment and poverty rates for African Americans, Trump at one point asked who on the presidential debate stage is going to beat these numbers. I think it's important to stay focused on money and not on the message, said Austin Lane, president of Texas Southern University, which will host Thursday's Democrat presidential debate. You see, he's got to go back to the Democrats Thursday.
Let me stop him here.
So this is why.
Let me stop it here. Yeah, your black ass is always worried about the money. whether it's yours or not. This is why I keep telling y'all mixed people, especially us half-blacks, light-skinned motherfuckers out here talking about reparations and shit. When does it stop? When does it stop? The white man could build schools. He could give you millions of dollars. It'll never be enough. Trump didn't have to do that shit. If I was Trump, I wouldn't have done that. Fuck your black ass. You ain't you. All you do is cuss at me. All y'all do is treat me like shit. But yet that man is still sitting there handing y'all shit, and it ain't enough. Well, he turned my SNAP benefits off. Yeah, because illegal immigrants were getting more benefits than black people were. But you don't want to admit that shit. Why do y'all think I washed my hands of being black long ago? I burned my black card and flipped off white people when I did it too. These fools are insane. The levels of greed. Trump didn't have to give y'all that money. I wouldn't have. Because I'm a bastard. I wouldn't have. If anything, I'd have shut them fucking schools down. Because I ain't like most of y'all going to graduate anyways. It's a waste of money. Y'all want to be up there protesting and acting a damn fool instead of studying. And then you wonder on why you got the brain power of a fucking donut. There's a big ass hole in the middle of it. That man sitting there handing you money. And you going to sit there, we need to just focus on the money and not the politics. Shut the fuck up. Trump's telling you them Democrats ain't done nothing but fuck y'all over since the 60s. Even Malcolm X said, you keep voting for a political party that makes all these promises, and yet they do not keep them, and yet you continue to vote for them. Not only are you a sucker, but you are a traitor to your race. Quote, Malcolm X. He might have used different words, though. The man was a lot more eloquent than I am. I'm just a hillbilly with a temper. This ungrateful. Ungrateful. Let's push this. Let's keep this going.
He's saying what he's saying. Okay? He come there just for the money. He doesn't really care about Trump's message or anything. Okay? We're here to find out, mostly importantly, if there's money to access, where is it and how do we get it? Okay? He's one of these people. There's a lot of black in our community like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm going to show you just a portion of the speech of what Trump gave these people. It's incredible. I'm going to show you this.
That is why in my first weeks in office, I took action to make HBCUs a top priority once again. I signed an executive order to move the federal HBCU initiative to the White House, right where it belongs.
Hold on. I'm going to stop it right here. You know some black woman is going to be on. Why has it got to be in the White House? Because y'all are fucking ignorant. Just like that one chick. What was she talking about? Oh, this year's going to be a white year. Why does it got to be a white year? Man, shut the fuck up, man. You worried about that, and you got motherfuckers machine gunning whole fucking communities. Babies born already addicted to dope. And you worried about stupid shit. Let's push this.
Over the past 2.5 years, we have listened and learned from you, and we have taken very, very major action. I think you know that. I signed legislation to increase federal funding for HBCUs by a record 13%. That was the highest ever done.
Good.
When members of the Thurgood Marshall College Fund asked us to lift the ban on Pell Grants for summer classes, I included that change in my budget, and we worked with Congress, so we got it done.
Good. Trump out here making moves for black people. And y'all spit in his face, you want to bite the hand that beats.
But we got it done. In the fall of 2017, we met with leaders of HBCUs devastated by Hurricane Katrina, Dillard University, Southern University at New Orleans, Tougaloo College, Xavier University of Louisiana. And less than a year later, my administration took action to fully forgive their disaster loans so these colleges could get out of debt and back to their critical mission of educating our nation's future leaders, and truly great leaders they will be. So, congratulations. Last year, my administration also worked with UNCF and key members of Congress to provide capital finance loan deferment to 13 HBCUs that presented rigorous plans for growth. In total, over the last 2.5 years, through the capital financing program, we have provided more than $500 million in loans to HBCUs.
500 million in loans. That's not.
$500 million, yo. $500 million. It ain't enough, is it, black people? It's never enough. You know, them immigrants were getting $451 million that could have went to this as well. That'd been $851 million. Nah, that went to illegal immigrants under your goddamn Democrats. Right? That's why I wash my hands of being black. I'm mixed with it, sure. It's hard to deny that. If I could, I fucking would. Because this is shameful. Shameful. And y'all still talk about Trump racist. Trump ain't shit. Trump a white supremacist. Really? Let's push it.
Yeah, just keep listening.
Had a very good interest rate, I might add.
Wow.
Right here in our nation's capital, we delivered an additional grant of $15 million to the only federally chartered HBCU, a great school with a great reputation that was already mentioned once today, Howard University.
That's $550 million.
Gave Howard $15 million.
No, $515 million he spent on black schools.
More than $100 million for scholarships, research, and centers of excellence.
$615 million.
Colleges and universities that are land grant institutions. $100 million.
That's $615 million, black people.
And thanks to Secretary DeVos' leadership and her work with many of you, we've also made unprecedented progress to reduce unnecessary regulatory burdens so that your institutions are free to innovate and offer more flexible options for the students. And you're doing that. You're doing a lot of great options. I looked at some before. We've got a lot of really great options, and that's what you need. Today, I'm thrilled to announce another major action we're taking to protect HBCUs. Previously, federal law restricted more than 40 faith-based HBCUs and seminaries from fully accessing federal support for capital improvement projects. This meant that your faith-based institutions, which have made such extraordinary contributions to America, were unfairly punished for their religious beliefs. Did we know that?
No, we did not know that. You just taught everybody in that room something. None of them knew that.
Because that was not good. This week,
He did that on his own. If none of them knew that, that means nobody asked him to do that. He just did that on his own. He found out about it and fixed it.
our Department of Justice has published an opinion declaring such discriminatory restrictions as unconstitutional. From now on, faith-based HBCUs will enjoy equal access to federal support.
Hold on, let's stop it. Okay. So, because, I mean, there are more black Christians than anything in America, right? Than any other religious group as far as black people goes, there's more Christians. Then that man just made it easier for y'all to get an education. But it ain't enough, right? You see what I keep telling y'all? $615 million, and he ain't done yet. $615 million. Where your black Democrats? Where your Democrats sending the money? To motherfucking illegals. And black people have been the most loyal Democrat voters for over 60 years. They trying to replace y'all with Mexicans. Because at least Mexicans will work and build infrastructure for them for cheap. Black people won't. Y'all need to wake the hell up. Let's push this.
When I came into office, I directed the entire federal government to develop a strategy to support historically black colleges and universities. Today, 32 federal departments and agencies have released statements of priority that are helping your institutions receive resources and support that you deserve. To give just a few examples, NASA is expanding outreach to HBCU students who want to become scientists, engineers, and even astronauts. I don't know about the astronaut. I don't want to be an astronaut. How about you?
Straight
Does
up
anybody
money.
want to be an astronaut? I don't see too many. I see one. There's one brave person over there. That's pretty great, though. But what we've done there is terrific. And for those who do want to be an astronaut and those other wonderful things, it's now possible. The Departments of Labor and Education are working with HBCUs to increase apprenticeship opportunities. Our federal budget also prioritizes HBCUs and on plan to give more students access to state-of-the-art training in high-demand fields such as science, technology, engineering, and math. We want to help each student have the experience they need to get a tremendous job, enjoy a rewarding career, and join our great national effort to rebuild America. That's what we're doing.
All right, I'm ending right there. You guys got to see this whole speech. It's a great speech.
Let me stop it. See, black people, he's trying to include you in shit. He's trying to include black people. Your Democrats ain't done that. If anything, the Democrats has butt-fucked the black community for 60 years. Trying to open up job opportunities and shit. But yeah, there's the thing, Trump, most black people don't want to work. Most of these niggas don't want to work. They want to sit there and get shit for free. See why I washed my hands of being black years ago? You're dealing with the people, the only thing they're really good for is to bite the hand that feeds them. Let's push this. It's a little bit longer, y'all.
Okay? It was well received. And this is what politics is, people. We have to learn to depersonalize this politics. This is a leader, a political leader, that's delivering.
Mm-hmm. Like he promised.
He's delivering to the needs of his constituents, of his people. This is what he's supposed to be doing. Okay? And this is why I support him from the beginning. Now, let me show you what the black Democrats have for you. Okay? They got emotions. We just had a black Democrat in the president's in the White House for the last 8 years. Okay? He didn't do what Trump did. He had the same powers that Trump had. But
oh shit! This shit is 6
Lemon
years old.
slams black
My
voters
bad.
who prioritize economy.
So that was
over the
during his
president's
first
racist
term.
behavior. Don Lemon is saying that since Trump is a racist, we know that he's saying they know the economy's doing well, and Trump is doing well in supporting black people's initiatives, as you just seen with the black colleges. But he's saying Trump is so racist that you're supposed to ignore all the things that he's doing and vote for the Democrats, who we know you will not get anything out of.
All right.
So let's be smart, people.
All right, let me stop it here. All right, see, yeah, I fucked that up. That's my fault. But yeah, that was during his first term. Okay. Now, from my understanding, he just did it again too. He took a bunch of money that was supposed to go to Harvard and Princeton and all that shit. Right? Hold on. Yeah, that was 6 years ago. I'm a dumbass. My bad, y'all. God damn, that's over an hour long. I am not trying to be here for that. Now, here's one that was 2 months ago. It's about 3 minutes long. Here we go. Let's play this. $500 million.
Yes, that's right.
Fucking cat video. Fuck you, ads. Really? Really? Now we're going to get the spinny wheel of fuck you? Seriously?
All right, so let's get into this. This is something that I'm having a hard time piecing together, right? Obviously, before y'all come in here canceling, trying to make me seem like something I'm not, this is not an endorsement of anybody. It's not an endorsement, okay? But according to the New York Times, so the Trump administration on Monday announced that it would inject nearly $500 million into historically black colleges and tribal universities, a windfall funded largely by cuts to programs elsewhere for minority students. I guess the point that they're saying is that it may look good. I think this is probably the position of the people who are writing this, that it looks like it's some bit of large benefit to the black community, but others are affected. Actually, let me tell you what it seems like to me. A couple things. One is that despite being predominantly black universities, the way that diversity is calculated, you'll actually be surprised to find that, one, there's no race threshold or requirement for HBCU, and secondly, they are often some of the most diverse educational institutions, and it has to do with the way that diversity is calculated. So my thought, though, is when you see, so I think the concern is that the biggest cut that is allowing for these extra funds to go to HBCUs is a $350 million hit to programs that support minority students in science and engineering programs, schools with significant Hispanic enrollment, and other federal grants at minority-serving institutions. The administration also cut money from the gifted and talented programs, which it said uses racial targeting and recruitment in some cases. It makes me wonder about a whole other thing about Uber, but like, what is the takeaway from this? What is the takeaway from this? I know, obviously, I gave you a little bit about how the money has been moved around and everything like that, and so we can definitely acknowledge that a possible motive could be to pit minorities against each other for resources. Another possibility could be that this is Trump signaling his support for Native Americans and African Americans, who he may see as separate from Latin Americans or people of Hispanic descent. It could be a signal of his support for segregation. It could be classism in terms of the often elite quality of students that come out of a HBCU, as opposed to like a more
that's
general.
Enough. You see what I mean? Trump didn't have to do none of that. I wouldn't have. $500 million to historical black universities. Okay, so that means he spent close to $1 billion, right? $500 million, damn near, if not more, on black universities. And this is how y'all thinking. Black people use something else, man. You see what I'm talking about, mixed people? Colored America, half blacks, mixed black. You see what I'm talking about? You can sit there and keep fighting these battles. You're never going to win because it's never going to be enough. I'm so fucking confused. I'm not even...